All right, so I just got off the phone with national carriers. Unfortunately, I forgot to hit the record button. However, there was so much noise going on in the background of the call anyway, it would have been pretty miserable. So I'll just go over what he said in the recruiter phone call. According to the recruiter, based off of my location in Tennessee, I would have to be over the road and they do not have any regional options for that location. But he said being a new CDL graduate, I would have to go out with a trainer for 4 to 5 weeks. During that time, I would be paid $700 per week. After that training, I'd go solo at 46 cents per mile. They do have increases at 3 months and 6 months, and after that 6 months, it would be up to 50 cents per mile. According to the recruiter, they said they were averaging 2,600 to 3,000 miles per week. But I gotta be honest, those numbers are really not realistic for a starter company. Generally, you can get between 2,000 and 2,500 miles per week, but it kind of all depends on how you run and how well your dispatcher does. So let's flip over to the calculator and see how those numbers pan out. So we'll go ahead and give them the benefit of the doubt and say it's gonna be 2,600 miles for the week, but honestly, don't be surprised if you're closer to 2,000. Regardless, starting out, you would be at 46 cents per mile, and that would bring you $1,196 per week pre-tax. And then we'll go ahead and take some taxes out of that. We'll multiply that by 80%, which is the amount that you would get if they take 20% for taxes. And that puts you at $956.80 after taxes. Now, just for fun, we're going to run the numbers after you've completed 6 months with national carriers. So we'll do 2,600 miles, multiply that by 50 cents per mile, and you're looking at $1,300 pre-tax. Take that number, multiply that by 80%, and you should be taking home around $1,040 after taxes. Now, once you've completed those 6 months, you'd be making 50 cents per mile until you get to a year, and from that point on, you'd be increasing 1 cent per mile every year. The home time policy for national carriers is 1 week out for 1 day home, so that means if you're out working for 4 weeks, you would get 4 days home. National carriers does offer tuition reimbursement of $50 per week up to $2,500. And also that tuition reimbursement wasn't a guarantee. The recruiter said you would have to apply and be approved to receive that tuition reimbursement. Being that $2,500 isn't a whole lot and you would have to apply for that, you want to keep that in mind if you have a tuition coming from a CDL school. National Carriers does have outward facing cameras and the recruiter said it was outward facing only. Their trucks are governed at 68 miles per hour and they do not offer any benefits for veterans. However, one perk that's not really common in the trucking industry is that you would receive 1 week of paid vacation.